going to cut up a half. We're going to make a vegetable for dinner. So we're going to have some cauliflower, rather big chunks. Cauliflower is a wonderful vegetable. You don't hear much about. I want to leave them in relatively large pieces. There are a couple of quick things you can do with cauliflower that are relatively simple. So first you have to prepare it, of course. The simple preparation for it would be to do it with a little bit of bacon. Just cut this in here. We'll save the rest of it. Okay, so here are our pieces. They're pretty big. This one a little big. Okay. I'm gonna rinse them. My son bought some bacon ends and pieces, and that makes nice okay. Makes a nice base for braising your vegetables. Actually, I want more fat. Okay, that should do it. Just don't let that now. I like to use what we have to cook with. This is the fat that was skimmed off the chicken juices. So I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to add it, a little bit of that, to our vegetables. thing about cooking is if you know what flavors go together and what meat goes together, you can use all of your little leftovers and combine them and you get a very tasty new dish.
So when you add the vegetables, how many minutes?
You know, I'm going to take these out. These will go in at the top as a garnish at the end. So we want to be sure they're cooked through. Add a little of this. You have to have your cover ready. Otherwise, you end up with oil all over the place. Just a little bit of water. Now, we talked about cornstarch and water. So I've had some of this slurry that I made earlier. This will be it's cornstarch and water. We'll add it at the end and it'll make a gravy. This needs to cook about 10 minutes, or not quite, but at least 9 minutes. This is a very quick, simple, tasty vegetable. I mean technique by using a little bit of bacon and a little bit of bouillon. If you had some flavored oil that from your roast, add that to it. So we're having this is my chicken juice that I'm going to warm up. That you will. I could thicken it, but you don't need to. The other little bit of sauce that gives it flavor is my sesame oil. So this needs to cook 9-10 minutes. Now you want to keep it still a la dente, so it's crunchy but not mushy. I noticed that Americans don't cook their vegetables to make things, I mean, they just sort of boil them and add butter or something. But that doesn't make them very interesting. Chinese have a lot of flavoring sauces that you can add to your vegetables. Another one that I like to add a little of, this is sriracha, but this is a really hot one. And if you want to add a little, this is a chili sauce. If you want some heat in it, you can add that to it. Just pour a little over. That looks like they're starting to get pretty cooked. Could still use a little more cooking. Remember, I have these, it's pretty thick. Now, if I wanted to add a little heat to it, I could, this would be a good time to add to it. Or if I just want to leave it with the bouillon, chicken bouillon, that's fine, along with the bits of bacon that will be on top. So we'll leave it, but I will add a little bit of sesame oil. And you just add the sesame oil at the end. And then start to thicken that. You just need to bring it to a boil. You can see that it starts to thicken. Okay. That gives it a nice, now, put this on just as we're finishing, and I'm going to about a tablespoon. Chinese food, it's nice to have somebody around who's doing the cleaning for you as you're doing the cooking, so, because you're using a lot of things. So I'm going to pour this and then put that on top.